Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chicago Fire may lose another cast member, warns Boden actor ahead of his return. Chicago Fire star Eamon Walker has hinted that the show could lose another prominent cast member following Boden's dramatic return. Walker, who played fan favorite Wallace Boden from seasons 1 to 12 before departing in the Chicago Fire season 12 finale, is set to return in season 13, episode 18, in the role of deputy commissioner. Boden will investigate a devastating fire in which a firefighter was left behind, and Walker has hinted that the event could have wide-reaching ramifications for the show. In an interview with Screen Rant, Walker hints that the show could lose other cast members following his departure. He talked about the intensity of the upcoming episode and how by the end, another cast member could be lost, while also discussing the friction that could occur between Boden and new chief Pascal. He discusses the potential death of a fan favorite and mentions that Boden's experiences are secondary to the dramatic events of the episode. Check out his comments below. Boden's return might be welcomed by audiences, but as Walker suggests, there might be more important things to worry about once the episode is through. It is difficult to assess from his comments whether he is talking about the general stakes at play in a dramatic procedural episode, or if he has knowledge that another cast member could be on their way out. Chicago Fire has seen many shocking character deaths, so the show is not afraid to kill off key characters, which will create real stakes in this episode. While Boden's return may just be a single episode, there is a chance that the fallout from the fire and the subsequent investigation may span multiple episodes. With a possible Chicago Fire Season 14 renewal, it would not be a surprise to see Boden appearing again. But it might also indicate that the show will undergo a shakeup, and this could see one or more major cast members departing as Season 13 draws to a close. While it is difficult to gauge whether a character might be killed off without knowing who is under threat, it's also difficult to rule anything out at this stage. What's more, characters don't have to be killed off for cast members to leave the show. The events of this episode could impact a number of the team in different ways, and there would be many avenues with which to write a departure. Ultimately, the nature of procedurals is that they have high cast turnovers, so there could be at least one star leaving Chicago Fire this season. Fans of Chicago Fire are still buzzing from the news that Chief Wallace Boden, played by the incomparable Eamon Walker, will soon return to Firehouse 51 after a noticeable absence. But what has people talking even more is the actor's cryptic warning during a recent interview, hinting that another major cast member may be leaving the series soon. For a show that has had its fair share of emotional goodbyes, this revelation has thrown fans into a frenzy, leaving everyone wondering who could be next to hang up their helmet. Eamon Walker's return is already a big deal. Boden has long been the moral compass and emotional backbone of the Firehouse, guiding his team through everything from raging fires to devastating personal losses. His absence in the latest season created a void that fans deeply felt. So when Walker teased that he's excited to come back, but things are about to change, maybe even dramatically for one of our own, speculation went into overdrive. The emotional weight of another loss. Firehouse 51 has weathered its share of heartbreak over the years. We've said goodbye to beloved characters like Leslie Shea, Gabby Dawson, and Otis, departures that left fans devastated and took seasons to fully process. Boden's warning suggests that the writers might be gearing up for another tearful farewell, and longtime viewers know that Chicago Fire never shies away from pulling at the heartstrings. "It's never easy," Walker said in the interview. "When someone leaves, whether it's by choice or through the story, it impacts everyone, the cast, the crew, and of course the fans. But that's the reality of life at Firehouse 51. Things change, and we grow through that change." This is where speculation becomes both exciting and nerve-wracking. Some fans believe that the show might be preparing to write out a veteran cast member, someone whose departure would truly shake the dynamic of the Firehouse. Kelly Severide, Taylor Kinney, has been in and out of the series lately, and his on-again off-again presence has left fans wondering if the writers are preparing to transition him out permanently. His storyline with Stella Kidd has been an emotional anchor for several seasons, and a full departure would be seismic. Sylvie Brett, Cara Kilmer, just found happiness with Matt Casey, and her story arc could naturally conclude with her choosing to leave Chicago to start a new chapter with him. Some fans think this might actually be the most likely outcome, especially since she's been vocal about wanting more from life than the firehouse. Joe Manoso, has had a beautiful redemption arc since Otis's death, becoming a father and stepping up as a leader on Squad. Losing Cruz would feel like losing the heart of the firehouse all over again. Each possibility carries enormous emotional weight, and that's exactly what keeps Chicago Fire compelling after so many seasons. Boden's role in the coming storm. Walker's comments also hinted that Boden himself might be at the center of this change. Boden is coming back to some tough decisions, he teased. And those decisions may not make everyone happy. This is classic Boden, the man who has to balance compassion with duty, even when it means making unpopular calls. Could he be the one who has to deliver the news that someone is being reassigned, or even that a team member is leaving Firehouse 51 for good? This would add a heavy emotional layer to his return, as the chief has always been known for protecting his team fiercely. The ripple effect on Firehouse 51. If Chicago Fire does indeed lose another major character, the ripple effect will be massive. Stella Kidd, who has been stepping up as a leader in Boden's absence, may face a crisis of confidence if she loses another close ally. Herman, the emotional glue of the firehouse, will almost certainly deliver another one of his tear-jerking locker room speeches about family and perseverance. And let's not forget the fans. Chicago Fire has one of the most loyal audiences on television, and each character exit sparks passionate debate online. When Otis died, I swore I wouldn't watch anymore, one fan wrote on social media recently. But here I am, seasons later, still crying with every twist. I guess that's why this show is so special. It hurts, but it's real. Could this be a fake out? Of course, Chicago Fire has been known to tease heartbreak only to surprise viewers with a twist. Perhaps the lost Walker is hinting at won't be a death or a departure, but a temporary separation, a character leaving for a special assignment or sabbatical, only to return later. This would allow the show to shake things up without permanently breaking fans' hearts. Still, Walker's phrasing, and his reputation for not exaggerating, suggests that whatever is coming will be significant. Why change keeps Chicago Fire fresh? While the thought of losing another beloved character might feel unbearable, it's worth noting that this kind of turnover is part of what keeps Chicago Fire fresh after more than a decade on the air. The series has always been about the cycle of life in the firehouse. New recruits arrive, heroes rise, and sometimes, tragically, they fall. Walker summed it up best. What I love about this show is that it's never just about fire. It's about the human spirit, about what it takes to keep showing up for each other, even when the worst happens. And yes, the worst might be about to happen.